And the final thing I want to talk about was the coronavirus. Because I noticed you stopped drinking Corona.
Man, it's all in the marketing.
Why are they calling it the coronavirus?
I have no idea.
Because that's not the name of the town that it started.
Actually, they have officially changed the name to...
I would be pissed off if I was whoever makes Corona.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
The Modelo, I think it's Modelo.
I bet you people aren't buying Corona now because of that virus. They think it has, because people are stupid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But those people shouldn't be drinking anyway.
It's like Corona. Why, dude? And I was listening to this dude, and it's scary.
It really is.
Because it's showing up in places, and they don't even have a connection to China. It's like they don't even have travelers from China in these areas. It's showing up in Italy,
it's
France.
So crazy. The way that this thing has an incubation period of like 14 days.
So they're trying to figure out how is it getting to these different places out of China?
It's probably unorthodox travel.
We're just listening to this.
Questions that are all beneath your pay grade, so indulge me. Straightforward questions that are all beneath your pay grade, so indulge me. What is a pandemic, and how do we know when we're in the midst of one?
Well, a pandemic is when you have an infectious disease that is being consistently and sustained transmission from person to person through a wide range of regions, countries, and areas of the globe. So, for example, in China, it's an epidemic because it's concentrated in China. But once you start to get other countries in which you have sustained transmissibility, then you really have the makings of a pandemic. Pan meaning wide, it's widely distributed.
Okay, I don't want to get too deep.
I just have a question. Go back. Stop on that map.
That map. Look at this map, man. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going down there to Chile.
That's what I was saying. I'm like,
but look, because we don't have to cross an ocean or anything to get down there. You just drive down through Mexico. I'm going all the way to that mountain range, and I'm going to live in a shack for the next 10 years. And not have any interaction with anybody, and I will.
You only need to stay there for a couple of weeks, man. You know, it's only a 14-day incubation period.
Dude, this stuff is scary.
It is scary. It only has a fatality rate of, I think it's 2 or 3%. But I say that. But when you have, I'm not.
That makes me feel better though. It really does.
I think that.
That tells me it's probably killing old people. Or people whose immune systems are compromised already. Killed
in the 20,000s. But that's worldwide. And most of that is all in China. Most of that's in China. I think there's been one American death. There's been a handful, and I'm talking off for the last time I checked the analytics of this, was there's been several positive tests of Americans, but there's only been one death associated with it. Because the people who are traveling, you're right on, it's highly deadly to small children and older adults. But the problem is that it sits dormant in your systems for 14 days. So imagine the amount of traveling you can do, and you're contagious during that incubation period.
Oh my God.
So the best thing that we can do to combat it here is, if you're going to a public place, make sure you're sanitizing. Door handles, elevator buttons. If you're touching that stuff, then you need to be washing your hands a lot. And that goes for a lot of things. I work in a hospital, so there's all kinds of different illnesses that you can get in a hospital. And it's just good form to wash your hands and not be touching doorknobs and putting your hands on your face and that type of stuff.
Dude, this is Walking Dead stuff right here. Let me look at that.
This is dead stuff. I don't think anybody's coming back from this one.
But man, I bet the people in Africa are laughing.
But now,
Usually this stuff starts in places like Africa, like AIDS.
and you have
Look
to
at Africa. Nobody's has it in Africa.
and you have to keep in mind two things, okay? A lot of the countries in Africa and South America are not allowing information out to the world.
Oh, so they might have it.
They might have it, but they're not releasing it. They don't want the what is it? The World WHO, World Health Organization. They don't want it in their business. And just because a country is red, this kind of gives you that feel of every time you've ever seen a pandemic movie, that as the virus spreads, it covers the whole country. Yeah. But just because that country's lit up doesn't mean there could be one case in that country, So, but it's never a bad idea to be prepared and be careful. But
the problem is I have to go to work. And I work around lots and lots of people.
And where you work, there's a lot of travel in and out of the country.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would just be extra careful, man. Wear gloves. Do y'all wear gloves during work?
You can.
I would.
I don't wear gloves.
I would. But I think that overall, and I've watched a lot of shows on this, that they have it relatively contained. Wuhan, China is where it originated. And they think over there in Asia, they eat everything. If it moves, they kill it and eat it.
Yep.
And that's what happens when you have 1 billion people to feed. The food pool goes much deeper there. But from what I understand is that there were these bats that were feeding on the blood of other animals like swine. Because this is a derivative of like the swine flu. H1N1, bird flu, it's these bats were feeding on the blood of something other animal that was infected with this virus. Then humans consume those bats. And then, so on and so forth. And then there's 200 to 300,000 cases in the world. There's 25,000 people have died from it. That's still a lot, but I think in the United States, like they've done a good job on international flights, checking people as they come in. If they came from that area, they'd be quarantined. There was a whole cruise ship that had to be quarantined for like 21 days.
Yeah, from Japan.
Yeah, that they didn't let the people, the ship docked, but they didn't let the people off for like 3 weeks. And these are all steps that are taken to prevent it spreading.
The thing I hate about this is you can't see it. I can deal with something if I can see it coming.
Yeah, when you can see the threat coming. Yeah.
Even AIDS wasn't like this. AIDS, you just know, don't have sex.
Unprotected sex.
And you would be relatively safe. This is just...
Which is just common sense anyway.
This is something else, man. This is just...